Salt dough texture, art lesson with Ms.Boley. We're going to take the salt dough that we made and we're going to learn all about how to make texture. So first of all, what are clay tools? So when artists make ceramic objects out of clay, they use these special tools like this roller. There are a bunch of different types. This thing is called a rib. It has a straight edge that's for scraping and also a rounded edge that's for scraping as well. There are a bunch of sort of different shaped tools. Some of them are for adding texture and some of them are for joining pieces together. Some of them are for sculpting. Yeah, anyways, many of us probably don't have those at home. So what can we use when we're doing salt dough clay at home? So what I've done is I went in my kitchen and I found some objects that I thought would be perfect for sculpting with salt dough. Alright, so I want to talk to you about something called wedging. So when we use clay, oftentimes we need to wedge it in order to get out all of the air bubbles. So I would like to practice this skill with my salt dough. So what I'm doing is I'm pressing the dough down towards the table with the heels of my hands, and then I'm picking it up again and pushing it down. And then I repeat the picking it up and pushing down motion over and over and over. So try this out with your salt dough. I'm just going to continue to show some more footage of wedging. Sometimes when I start a unit with clay, I have students just practice wedging for a whole lesson. So it's a really important skill. Alright, now we're going to learn about creating a slab. So basically what I've done here is I've created a slab. So it's basically just a flat pancake of clay or a flat pancake of dough. So I've used my hands to squish it flat, and I've also used my little found object rolling pin as well. So see if you can find something that would help you roll your dough out. Alright, now I'm going to make a coil. So a coil is basically just like a long snake of clay. I'm sure you've done this before. You're going to want to spread your fingers out and then just roll back and forth over top of the dough until it turns into a snake. Here we go. Alright, a pinch pot. So a pinch pot is something again that we would do with clay. It's like a basic skill. So I'm going to make a ball of dough. I'm going to put my thumb into the middle of it and then I'm going to pinch around the outside until I get sort of this little floppy clay pot. So with salt dough, the dough is a little bit more floppier, so it may not hold together, but just try it out and see how it works. Alright, so I'm going to wedge my clay some more, and then I'm going to start doing my little texture slab. So think about what can we use to add texture to the salt dough. So maybe we can use some of those tools, those found object tools that we found in our kitchen. Or maybe there's something else that we can press into the dough. So we're going to use some found objects. So you'll see what I mean in just a second. So what I'm doing is I've made a slab of dough. So I've made a flat pancake of dough. And I'm taking some of those objects I found in my home. This is something that you use to stir honey with. And I'm using it to create texture on my salt dough slab. I'm using a little kid's butter knife, kind of just making some side-to-side diagonal texture. And I can also do some lines, some incised lines. So basically, what I'd like you to do is just experiment and have fun. This is not a final product that we're working towards. We're just trying to experiment and see what kind of textures we end up liking. So I'm using a fork and a chopstick to add some more texture. And once I have tried out all of my kitchen tools, I'm going to go see if there's any other things. For example, maybe some of the things that I put in my art kit from the very beginning of the year that I could try. So I just tried a little ball that had some holes in it. And now I'm going to try some stamps, which actually worked out really well. So I would like you to think about which types of materials worked the best and created the most noticeable textures. Here's a piece of cardboard that I've pulled off the opposite side. That worked really well. And a piece of Lego that also worked really well. You can also experiment with how deeply you press the object into the slab. Ooh, this is a cool one. So I'm going to take some string, just press it down, and then I'm going to roll over it with my rolling pin. So if you try something and it doesn't really work, try rolling over it with whatever you're using to roll out the dough. So that is that. I am very excited to see and hear about some of the different textures that you have created. So once you are done and you've filled up your slab with textures, you're not going to let it dry. You're going to just take a photo of it and then place the dough or the clay back into your Ziploc bag. You are not going to let it dry like this. Just take a photo. And this is a quick reminder of what to do now. So pause, go collect some kitchen tools and found objects that you could use to sculpt and add texture to your dough. Make sure you grab your dough as well. Try out some of those techniques I showed earlier with the wedging, the pinch pots, the coils, and then you're going to create a slab and add texture to it. And when you're done that, take a picture of your texture slab and be ready to share. So don't forget to have fun. This is all about just experimenting and trying things out. We're not trying to make a final project or finished thing. We're just experimenting. All right, thanks for watching.